Hey there, friends, and welcome back to another 3-Minute Thoughts. My name is Derek, and each weekday here on 3-Minute Thoughts, we slow down and look at one chapter in the New Testament. Just a few minutes to understand what's happening and think about what it might mean for your life and mine today. Today, we're in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 7, and this chapter is really about something surprising. Who actually recognizes faith? The first story involves a Roman centurion. That's important because a centurion was part of the occupying military force. Not Jewish, not part of the religious community. Now, this centurion's servant was sick, actually sick to the point of death. He's almost dead, and he sends word asking Jesus to help. But when Jesus starts heading toward his house, the centurion sends another message. Lord, I don't deserve to have you come under my roof. Just say the word and my servant will be healed. Then he explains why he believes this. As a military officer, he understands authority. When he gives a command, people move. So he assumes Jesus carries authority in a similar way. Jesus is amazed at his faith. In fact, he says he hasn't found faith like this even in Israel. That's a pretty remarkable moment. The person who recognizes Jesus' authority most clearly isn't a religious insider, it's a religious outsider. Then Jesus travels to a town called Nain, where a funeral procession is happening. A widow has lost her only son. In that culture, this meant not just grief, but vulnerability. No husband, now no son, very little protection in life. Jesus sees her, and he is moved with compassion, something we'll notice about Jesus throughout this gospel. He stops the funeral procession and raises the young man back to life. It's one of those moments where the power of God shows up not as a spectacle, but in an act of mercy. Later, John the Baptist, who we saw earlier preparing the way for Jesus, sends messengers with a question. Are you the one who is to come, or should we expect someone else? Even John has his moments of disbelief. Could this really be him? Jesus doesn't scold him. Instead, he points to what's happening. The blind see, the lame walk, good news is preached to the poor. In other words, John, look at the evidence and you answer the question for yourself. Then the chapter ends with a powerful dinner scene. Jesus is eating at a Pharisee's house when a woman known for living a sinful life, air quotes there, enters the room. She begins washing Jesus' feet with her tears and wiping them with her hair. The religious leader hosting the dinner is uncomfortable to say the least. I can't say as I blame him. But Jesus tells a story about two people forgiven different amounts of debt. The one forgiven more loves more. And then he says to the woman, your faith has saved you, go in peace. Luke 7 shows us something consistent in Jesus' life. Faith often shows up in unexpected places. Roman officer, grieving widow, doubting prophet, woman damaged by her reputation. Not people you'd normally expect to be spiritual examples. And maybe that's something we should think about in our lives. That's the kind of faith that still gets noticed today, the humble kind. Thanks for slowing down with me. Be well, friends.